high school.
Welcome to the high school, freshmen.
Welcome to high school.
Welcome to high school, freshmen.
Welcome to the library. I hope to see you in here.
Welcome to high school, freshmen. We're so happy you're here.
Hello, my name is Jerry Pontius. I'm the high school principal, and these times call for different measures, and so this year the freshman orientation can't happen in person. So I'm hoping that I can answer some of the questions that maybe you had answered at freshman registration, and if you have other questions, feel free to call the office. The first thing I want to talk about is credits. High school credits are a little bit different than what you've had to deal with in elementary and middle school. We are bound by the state of Missouri to require credits for graduation, and the Palmyra Board of Education has set forth 25 credits as being the requirement. So if you have 7 credits every year, you have a possibility of making a total of 28 credits in your high school educational career. So that being said, it is important that you stay on top of your classes and keep on top of your grades. Also, grade point average does go into effect starting in your freshman year. So when you apply for scholarships and you look at different things, applications maybe for jobs, they will ask for a GPA. If you want to go in the military, they will ask for a GPA. So make sure that you are trying your hardest and you are working up to the full potential that you have, advocating for yourself when you may not understand what's going on. That's important to understand, and that's something different than any other building in our district. So if you have questions about credits, feel free to contact myself. The guidance counselor, Angela Kepner, also would be able to talk about credits for graduation. Those credits also are specific to content areas. So you need 4 English credits, 3 math, 3 science, 3 social studies credits, and then some elective credits. Government has to be one of your social studies credits. Also, you have to take personal finance, health, and PE. Those are required classes through the state of Missouri. So those will be classes that you have to take. I know, as most of you had in your freshman or high school prep class in 8th grade, you talked about those. So that is something that shouldn't be too unfamiliar. But if you do have any more questions, feel free to email myself or Mrs. Kepner. So that brings me to my next point, and my next topic is requests for classes. Unfortunately, as freshmen, you're low man on the totem pole. And so being low man on the totem pole, that means you guys get last pick for classes. So the seniors get first priority, the juniors get second, sophomores get third, and then freshmen get the final pick of classes that they need. So freshman-wise, when we look at schedules, it's pretty easy to identify what a freshman schedule is going to look like. We already know you're going to have an English, math, social studies, and science, and then you throw in health and PE. If you're in band or if you're in ag, that really limits your options your freshman year. As you get older, as you go through your high school career, you start to get more options. I want to bring that up because we know we have a lot of requests for schedule changes and things like that, and it's very difficult for freshmen to move a senior out. In fact, we won't do that. Seniors get priority because this is their last year. As you become seniors, you will get priority. That's always something that I have a question about, and I just want to make sure that I touch on it. Dual credit classes, another thing that I get a lot of questions about. Dual credit classes are almost always junior and senior based classes. However, again, this is something that is determined a lot by GPA. So if we have students that have a high GPA, and they've met the prerequisites for dual credit classes, we will have no issues with that. If the GPA is low, in other words, you struggled in some classes, and if you struggled in an English class and you want to take English comp for dual credit your junior year, that's going to be tough sometimes to do that, to qualify. It's not just our requirement, but it's also the school's requirement that is allowing that dual credit. For those classes, we offer dual credit through Hannibal LaGrange University, Central Methodist University, and now we're offering some classes through MACC as well. So another reason to maintain your GPA and your work, keep your work ethic high and work hard towards your grades is because if you were interested in taking dual credit classes to help pass high school so you don't have to take them in college, dual credit classes is the way to go. You need to make sure your GPA is up there. Dual credit classes offered in high school are also much, much cheaper than college classes once you graduate. The next thing that I get a lot of questions about and that I want to talk about is A+. A+ is something that is very important and it's very beneficial to each and every one of you. As a freshman, you will not be required and will not have any obligations for A+. Mr. Sego, our assistant principal at the high school, is the one that's in charge of A+. He will bring students or each of you into the office and talk to you as you become second semester sophomores, and you will start to get more information about what A+ means. There is requirements for service. Usually the service that we offer is tutoring in other buildings, whether it's the middle school or elementary school. There are other options for service times as well through PAT, their nightly events when they're available. That's something, again, you'll learn more about in your sophomore year. So don't worry about that. Don't fret about that right now. iPads, again, are going to be something that we use a lot. It is something that we are going to continue to see if we end up having to close the building down for any particular reason. Hopefully not, fingers crossed. We will be using iPads exclusively. If that's a concern, please contact the office. We'll be more than happy to help you with any problems that may occur. Cell phones are not allowed. They aren't allowed in class. In fact, we kind of cracked down on that last year, and it was very effective. This is going to be very difficult for a lot of you because you've had your cell phones in your hands since March, and this is going to be something that's going to take a little bit of time. But I will tell you, students will get a detention if their cell phone is out in class, and it's not a lunch detention, it's an after-school detention. The first time it's taken away, the student will be able to pick it up after school. The second time it's taken away, a parent will have to come get it. Any time after that, the parent will have to come get it as well. And if it happens on a Friday afternoon and the parent's not able to get here before 4 o'clock, the office is closed. The cell phone won't be available until the next school day. So please be aware of that. That's something that initially was very difficult for our students to do last year, but over the course of time, it is something that they came familiar with. We believe at the high school that the iPad provides all the electronic device that the student needs. So the cell phone is not something that is needed for the educational process. It only provides an extra distraction. And so that is our thought process behind that. So another thing I want to talk about is activities. Please be active. And I say that, and I encourage you. We have roughly about 75% of all of our students in the high school that are involved in either athletics or clubs and organizations. And it provides an outlet to meet other people, to be involved with service organizations, to help around the community, to help in our school. And so that is important. It keeps you involved and it helps to find a group that you feel like you belong to. And that's important. We want everybody to feel like they're involved or they belong to somebody, to something, and some clubs and organizations help with that. And so it's a commonality between individuals, and so that's important to feel like you belong and that you want to help with something. This year, lockers will not be available until further notice. Unfortunately, we're going to have quite a few changes. I know there's going to be lots of questions. We're going to work through those as best we can. The lockers are not available. Backpacks are available. They have been available at the high school. And so we encourage you to find a backpack that is comfortable to wear because you will be taking it from classroom to classroom, and you will not have time to stop at a locker because they will not be open to students this year. So, if you bring your own lunch and you have a lunch box, you will have to carry that with you every hour. So just be aware of that, right? And I know that's not ideal. We don't want it to be that way, but we're limiting contact points around the building as best we can, and that's one of the ways that we feel we can limit contact points. The school day, again, will start at 8:11. This year, the building will not open until 7:45. At 7:45, freshmen will be allowed to enter the building and go into the small gym. And then at 8 o'clock, the students and the freshmen in the small gym will go to their first hour teacher's class. And then at 8:11 is when instruction time will occur. If you are wanting to eat breakfast between 8 and 8:11, if you're coming in after 7:45, breakfast will be an option and will be available in the hallway. If you've already been in the building, if you got here at 7:45, you will walk past the table or however our food service providers are going to have that set up. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to be arranged yet. We'll work that out the first day, and we'll get that figured out. Lunch is going to be in your 4th hour class this year. That's not ideal, but that's something that we're going to have to deal with, and that's something that we'll work through those logistics as we go. We kind of have a plan in place, but that is something that we will have to do to start out. Hopefully we can go back to normal sometime this school year, but until further notice, we are going to try to isolate the large groups, the large gathering, which is, again, why we're doing this online versus in person. The last thing I want to talk about really is, again, I want you to feel welcome. I want you to feel like this is your school, and it's always important to be involved and to be active, to get to know your teachers, to get to know the secretaries in the office, myself, the principal, the assistant principal, Larry Seago, again, like I said, the guidance counselor, Angela Kepner. We're all here to help support you and to help you through the 4 years that you have in high school. And they are going to be extremely fast years. And I say that every year in freshman orientation, and people kind of look at me and they roll their eyes. Some of you have had kids that have already graduated, and you understand how fast those 4 years go. Enjoy them. It is a blast to be in high school, and you only get to go through once. So enjoy it, be active, and just have fun with it.